There comes a point in every person's life when they are faced with a decision that will define who they are, not just in that moment, but for the rest of their journey. That decision isn't always between right and wrong, or success and failure, but between how we choose to see the situation we are in and how we respond to it. Life is not what happens to us, it's how we respond to what happens to us. And at the heart of that response lies one of the most powerful forces in the world, a positive mental attitude. A positive mental attitude is not about denying reality. It's not about pretending that pain doesn't exist or that setbacks don't sting. It's not a mask we wear or a lie we tell ourselves. It is the unshakable belief that no matter what comes our way, we have the strength, the resilience, and the vision to overcome it. It is the commitment to see possibility where others see defeat. It is the courage to believe in hope even when circumstances scream despair. It is the choice to turn adversity into advantage, failure into feedback, and hardship into hard-earned wisdom. When the world says no, when the doors slam in your face, when you feel like you're down to your last ounce of strength, that's when a positive mental attitude becomes your greatest weapon. Because attitude is everything. Your attitude determines your altitude. The way you choose to think shapes the way you experience life. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win but think you can't, it's almost certain you won't. But when you believe in yourself, when you believe in the power of your mind, when you choose to stay positive regardless of the circumstances, you unlock potential you never knew you had. Think of the people who have accomplished great things in life: leaders, innovators, artists, athletes, survivors. They weren't always the most talented, the most educated, or the most privileged. But they all had one thing in common: the ability to stay positive in the face of challenges. They had a mindset that refused to quit. They believed that where they are is not where they will stay. They believed that their current situation is not their final destination. And so they pressed on, fueled by a belief that better days are ahead and that they are capable of bringing those days into reality. It starts with gratitude. You cannot have a positive mental attitude without first learning to appreciate what you already have. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. It helps you see the beauty in the ordinary, the lessons in the painful, and the value in every single moment. When you are grateful, you open your eyes to all the good that surrounds you, and that good multiplies. Gratitude is not just an emotion. It's a mindset, a discipline, and a foundation for positivity. Start your day by acknowledging something you're thankful for, and you'll find that your whole day starts to shift. The more you look for the good, the more you find it. Equally important is the ability to control your self-talk. We all have an internal voice, and that voice can either lift us up or drag us down. The words you speak to yourself matter more than the words anyone else says about you. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, then that becomes your reality. But if you choose to speak life, to speak encouragement, to affirm your strengths and potential, then you begin to align your mind with success. Tell yourself, I can do this, I will rise, I am capable, I am strong, and mean it, because your subconscious mind listens. It believes what you tell it over and over again. So feed it with faith, feed it with positivity, feed it with belief. Your environment also plays a crucial role. Surround yourself with positivity. That doesn't mean everyone around you has to be cheerful all the time, but it means choosing relationships and communities that encourage growth, that support your vision, that hold you accountable to your best self. Negativity is contagious, but so is positivity. Choose to be around people who inspire you, who challenge you to rise higher, who remind you of your worth when you forget it. Be that person for others, too. Be a light in someone else's darkness. Positivity shared is positivity multiplied. But let's be real, life will test your attitude. It will hand you moments of loss, betrayal, failure, and fear. It will try to break your spirit and steal your hope. And that's when the real work begins. That's when you must dig deep and find the strength to choose a better response. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every challenge contains the seed of opportunity. But you must train your mind to look for it. When you fall down, don't just lie there. Get up, learn, grow, strengthen your resolve, because it's not how many times you fall that matters. It's how many times you rise. A positive mental attitude also means taking responsibility for your life. No more blaming others, no more making excuses. You are in charge of your story. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you absolutely control how you respond to it. You control your effort, your discipline, your energy, your outlook. When you accept full ownership of your life, you step into your power. Victims blame. Leaders take charge, and a positive mental attitude is the mindset of a leader, not just of others, but of oneself. Success begins in the mind. If you can envision it, you can begin to believe it, and if you believe it, you will begin to act on it, and if you act on it, the results will follow, but the seed must be planted in your thoughts. That's where the journey begins. Every great invention, every world-changing idea, every act of courage and creation started as a thought, a possibility entertained by a mind that refused to be limited by fear. Cultivate your thoughts, guard your mind, be intentional with what you consume, what you focus on, and what you allow to influence you. Your thoughts become your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior becomes your destiny. One of the most beautiful things about a positive mental attitude is that it doesn't depend on external circumstances. You can be going through the worst storm of your life and still choose to see the silver lining. You can be broke, heartbroken, alone, or afraid and still choose to believe that this is not the end, that something better is on the way, that you are worthy of love, joy, success, and peace, that your current chapter does not define your whole book, that the best is yet to come. And when you truly believe that, when you live and breathe that mindset, your reality begins to shift. Hard work is important, discipline is necessary, strategy and knowledge and timing all matter. But without the right mindset, all of it will fall flat, because the moment things get tough, the moment results don't come fast enough, the moment you face rejection or failure, if your attitude isn't strong, you'll give up. But when your attitude is rooted in positivity, when it's built on a foundation of faith, resilience, and gratitude, you become unstoppable. You keep going, you keep rising, you keep believing. Every day is a new chance to begin again. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing to show up with the right attitude, one day at a time, one step at a time, and when you fall short, don't beat yourself up. Pick yourself up, adjust your mindset, and keep moving forward. Positivity is not about being happy all the time. It's about knowing that better is always possible and choosing to seek it, even when it's hard. It's also about being kind to others and to yourself. Positive people uplift. They don't tear down. They build bridges, not walls. They see the good in people and in situations. They look for ways to serve, to contribute, to make a difference. And in doing so, they bring meaning to their own lives. You don't have to change the whole world to have impact. Sometimes the simple act of smiling at someone, encouraging someone, or believing in someone can change their entire day, or even their life. Be that person, be the light, and watch how your own life becomes brighter in the process. We live in a world that's full of negativity, news, opinions, judgment, fear, but you don't have to absorb all of it. You don't have to let the noise in. You can create your own mental environment. You can choose what you feed your mind, read things that uplift you, watch things that inspire you, speak words that empower you. Write down your goals, reflect on your wins, celebrate your growth, visualize your dreams, fuel your inner fire every single day, because positivity is not a one-time event. It's a lifestyle, a habit. A daily decision. There will be moments when it's hard, when doubt creeps in, when negativity knocks at your door, but in those moments, remind yourself who you are. Remind yourself of what you've overcome. Remind yourself that you've made it this far and you're not about to stop now. Remember your why. Remember the people who believe in you. Remember the dreams that keep you up at night. Let those things fuel your spirit. Let them anchor you in positivity. A positive mental attitude is not magic, but it creates magic. It changes the way you see the world, and in doing so, it changes what's possible. It opens doors. It attracts opportunities. It strengthens relationships. It builds character. It transforms pain into purpose. It turns obstacles into stepping stones. It turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. It is a force more powerful than money, fame, or luck, because it is the foundation of all of those things. You are more powerful than you know. Your thoughts are more influential than you realize, and your attitude, more than your circumstances, determines your future. Choose today to adopt a positive mental attitude. Let it be your default, your anchor, your weapon, and your light. Let it guide you through the darkest nights and lead you into the brightest days. Let it become who you are, not because life is always easy, but because you are always strong enough to rise. Strong enough to believe, strong enough to persevere, because in the end, it's not what happens to us that defines us, but how we choose to respond. And when we respond with hope, with gratitude, with faith, and with courage, we write a story worth living. A story filled with purpose, resilience, and triumph. A story that inspires others to do the same. And even as the road stretches long and the nights grow silent, let your thoughts be louder than your fears. Let the fire inside you burn brighter than the chaos around you. There will be days when the mirror doesn't reflect strength, when your confidence is buried beneath layers of uncertainty. But those are the days that matter most. Because when you choose positivity in the absence of comfort, when you find reasons to smile in the presence of sorrow, that is when you prove to yourself and to the world that nothing can break a spirit determined to shine. Life has never been about waiting for the storm to pass. It's always been about learning to dance in the rain, and a positive mental attitude is the rhythm that keeps your feet moving. It is what keeps your dreams alive when progress is slow and the finish line feels distant. You may not have control over the weather, but you do have control over your umbrella. You can choose to show up soaked in sorrow, or you can raise your head, open your arms, and let the rain cleanse and renew you. Let it remind you that growth is messy, healing is not linear, and every storm leaves behind the seeds of something beautiful. When you truly embrace positivity, you stop needing everything to go right. You start realizing that it's okay to not have all the answers. You become okay with stumbling, with recalibrating, with being a work in progress. Because what matters most is not perfection, it's direction. Are you moving forward? Are you trying again? Are you learning something new about yourself each day? A positive attitude doesn't make you immune to pain, it makes you resilient through it. It gives you the ability to see pain not as a wall, but as a door. And on the other side of that door is strength you never knew existed. Every great breakthrough was once just a small flicker of belief in someone's heart. A tiny spark that said, "Maybe I can." And when that spark was fed with positive thought, with daily effort, with relentless hope, it grew into a flame. That same flame lives in you. Every time you dare to dream, every time you fight through exhaustion, every time you choose to believe in yourself even when the world doesn't, that flame gets stronger. And one day it will light up a path not just for you, but for everyone who watches you walk it. You might never know who is watching you. You might never see the ripple effect your attitude creates. But every act of resilience, every moment of grace under pressure, every positive word you speak it echoes. It matters. Maybe someone else finds the strength to keep going because they saw you do it first. Maybe someone else believes they are worthy because your attitude showed them they were. And maybe, just maybe, the light you carry becomes the spark that saves someone else. That is the power of a positive mental attitude. It's not about personal glory. It's about transformation. It's about being the kind of person who rises above bitterness and resentment, who doesn't let failure define their identity, who refuses to be a prisoner of circumstances, who walks into every room with a posture of peace and a presence of purpose. When you live with that kind of mindset, you become a magnet for goodness, not because life always gives it to you, but because you create it. You generate it, you are it, and when the journey gets long, when fatigue sets in, remind yourself of how far you've come. Remember the times you didn't think you'd make it, but did. Remember the pain you thought would last forever, but healed. Remember the strength you found in moments you thought would break you. That strength didn't come from luck. It came from you, from the way you chose to think, the way you chose to respond, the way you chose to keep your mind focused on what is good, what is possible, what is worth fighting for. Do not wait for life to be easy before you decide to be positive. Do not wait for the applause, the promotion, the perfect moment. Create joy in the middle of the unknown. Dance through the uncertainty. Smile through the struggle. You were not born to merely survive. You were born to thrive. And thriving begins with believing that even your worst day has something worth living for. It begins with understanding that positivity is not a mood, it's a mission. You are not a victim of your mind. You are the master of it. You train it like a muscle. You feed it like a garden. You protect it like a treasure. What you allow to grow in your mind determines what flows into your life. So plant seeds of faith, water them with action, and watch what blooms. And when weeds of doubt or fear try to take root, pull them out. Replace them with truth. Replace them with affirmations that elevate and inspire. Remind yourself daily that you are more than your failures. You are more than your past. You are more than anyone's opinion. You are possibility in motion, and when you wake up tomorrow and the day feels ordinary or overwhelming, pause. Take a breath, recenter, start again, one grateful thought, one encouraging word, one step forward. Positivity isn't about grand gestures. It's about small, intentional choices, and those small choices compound into a life that radiates joy, resilience, and strength. You are writing your story with every decision you make. Make it one that reflects hope. Make it one that stands tall in the face of difficulty. Make it one that others read and say, "Because of you, I didn't give up." In every challenge, you have a choice. You can see the problem, or you can search for the solution. You can focus on the pain, or you can look for the purpose. You can dwell in fear, or you can walk in faith. And the more you choose the latter, the more natural it becomes. You train your brain to seek out light even in darkness. You start becoming a person who instinctively rises, who instinctively believes, who instinctively uplifts. That is what a positive mental attitude does. It reprograms your default. And in doing so, it redefines what's possible for you. Let your life be a declaration. Let it declare that no circumstance, no person, no failure, and no season has the power to take away your hope. Let it declare that no setback is stronger than your comeback. Let it declare that you are a person of vision, of perseverance, of joy that isn't dependent on external things. And when people see you, let them see what it looks like to live with grace, with grit, and with gratitude. Keep building yourself from the inside out. Keep choosing love over fear. Keep showing up for yourself even on the days when it's hard, because those are the days that make you. And in time, you will look back and see that every moment of doubt, every tear shed in silence, every lonely victory of mindset over circumstance, it all mattered. It all added up to the person you are becoming. A person of depth, of compassion, of unshakable positivity. You've got more inside you than you think. So when the world weighs heavy, lift your head. When the path feels blocked, take one more step. And when your heart starts to doubt, remind it of the battles you've already won. You are not defined by struggle. You are refined by it. You are not meant to just exist. You are meant to soar, and the wings you need. They've been with you all along. They're built from every positive choice you've made, every empowering thought you've embraced, every challenge you've overcome. Use them, fly. Because the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning. So let today be a turning point, not because anything drastic changes in the world outside, but because something fundamental shifts within you. Let this be the day you fully commit to mastering your mindset, not as a temporary boost of motivation, but as a permanent lifestyle, as a sacred promise to yourself. Make the decision that no matter what happens around you, you will be the one who brings calm into chaos, light into darkness, and faith into uncertainty. That no matter how loud the noise becomes, your inner peace will be louder. You are not your fears, you are not your circumstances, you are not your past. You are the architect of your future, the guardian of your thoughts, and the captain of your soul. Every day that you choose to rise with a positive mental attitude, you are telling the world, I refuse to be broken. I refuse to be bitter. I choose to be better. You are drawing a line in the sand and saying, no more self-doubt, no more self-sabotage. From now on, I walk in confidence. I speak with purpose. I act with intention. You are becoming someone who refuses to let negativity take root. Someone who recognizes that toxic thoughts are like weeds, and weeds don't need permission to grow. They just need neglect, but not you. You are tending to your mind with care. You are pulling the weeds. You are planting truth, hope, and peace. You are building a mental garden where greatness can grow, where ideas can flourish, where courage can be cultivated. And every morning you water it with gratitude, you feed it with focus, and you protect it with boundaries. The people who leave the biggest mark on this world are not always those with the most resources or connections. They are the ones with the strongest mindset, the ones who refused to give up, the ones who carried on when there was no applause, when the spotlight faded, and when no one else believed. The ones who kept going because they believed something incredible was waiting for them on the other side of pain. And they were right. That can be your story too, if you choose it. If you decide today that your attitude will not be dictated by circumstances, but defined by your inner conviction. If you decide that no matter what storm you face, you will be the calm in it. That no matter how high the mountain, you will be the climber who refuses to quit. That no matter how loud the doubts, your belief will speak louder. This is the essence of a positive mental attitude. It's not what happens to you. It's what happens inside of you when it does. And this mindset, this unwavering choice to be positive, it begins to manifest in all areas of your life. You start to speak differently, words of hope, not hopelessness. You start to act differently, with purpose, not passivity. You carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are on a mission. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop chasing validation and start walking in self-worth. You stop fearing failure and start seeing it as feedback. When you embody positivity, you become magnetic. Opportunities are drawn to you. People want to be around you, not because you're perfect, but because you radiate resilience. You bring warmth into cold places. You bring faith into fearful moments. You bring energy that cannot be manufactured. It can only be cultivated through consistent commitment to inner growth. Understand this, your mind will believe whatever you feed it. If you tell it you're not good enough, it will believe you. If you tell it the world is against you, it will search for evidence to support that. But if you tell it, I am capable, I am chosen, I am powerful, I am growing, then your mind will start to believe that too. It will look for reasons to back that up. It will begin to shift, and when your mind shifts, everything else follows. This is why the battle is won or lost in your mind. It's why success begins long before anyone else sees the result. It begins the moment you choose belief over disbelief, growth over stagnation, forward over stuck. And when that becomes your daily decision, over time you become someone who simply doesn't give up. You become someone who endures, who adapts, who overcomes. There is no secret to greatness. There is no mystery to joy. It's a choice made every single day, in every single moment. It's in the way you respond to a rude comment, the way you rebound from a mistake, the way you handle pressure, setbacks, or uncertainty. It's the discipline to keep your head high when the weight is heavy. It's the courage to smile anyway, to show up anyway, to give your best anyway, and this choice, the positive mental attitude, may not make things easier, but it will make you stronger, and strong people build strong lives. They carry their dreams across deserts. They keep their vision intact when the road is long. They inspire others just by being who they are. You are that kind of person. You are someone with more power than you realize. You are someone who was born not to shrink in the face of adversity, but to rise because of it. You are not here to just get by. You are here to make impact, to find fulfillment, to live with joy and lead with heart. And all of that starts with how you think, with how you speak to yourself when no one else is listening, with how you frame the story of your life in your own mind. So write a good story. Make your life a testimony to the strength of a positive mental attitude. Let your legacy be that you smiled even when it was hard, that you loved even when it hurt, that you kept walking when others stopped, that you believed when no one else did, that you lived not in fear of failure, but in faith of possibility. Your future is not written in stone. It is written in your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude, one moment at a time. So dream big, speak life, stay grateful, and never let your hope die. You have what it takes. You've always had it. Now is the time to fully believe it, because the world doesn't need more negativity. It needs you, the real you, the resilient you, the hopeful, unshakable, powerfully positive you. And you, just as you are more than enough.